I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. Every wide receiver in the NFL wants to be a top target, and two players will be trying to be that today. It's Marshall's Jets going up against Beckham's Giants. With that, we're off to MetLife Stadium in New Jersey as we bring in the two men who call our game, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the New York Jets and their inner-city rivals, the New York Giants. Hello, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. As we get set here, Charles, we talk about wide receivers. You know, Larry mentioned it in the open, but that's a big spot to look at here in this one.
I think he identified it perfectly because these guys have such an impact on the game nowadays because they throw the ball more than ever. And whether they're throwing it short, medium, or long, can they snatch it out of the air and create even extra yardage with run after catch?
Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon, and we are underway from MetLife Stadium. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And they're led out by their 12th-year quarterback out of Harvard University. It's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
It always seems that with every team Ryan Fitzpatrick plays on, they're trying to find a replacement for him. But in 2015, he threw 31 touchdown passes and nearly led the Jets to the playoffs. He's a guy that you can definitely win with.
Fitzpatrick on first down. Complete to the tight end, Jason Morrow. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 17 that time. That's good for a Jets first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Fresh set of downs here. On first and 10, Fitzpatrick. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. A look at the starting side for the offense and Brandon Marshall.
I think the thing that impresses me most about Brandon Marshall is his strength. How he runs his routes, how he wins against defensive backs downfield, how it's so tough to keep him from getting the football.
Watch left, tight end to the left, tight end left.
First carry for Matt Forte. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And the defense for New York.
Janoris Jenkins combines excellent coverage ability with supreme confidence in himself. He thinks that no one is going to catch a pass in his area. Calls himself Clamp City.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Now Fitzpatrick. Unable to find Decker. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
And now a first down following that long gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. So the carry that time for Forte, a man who turned 30 last December, Charles.
And he wants to make sure we forget about that with his new team, the New York Jets. But we do know that 30 is the dreaded age for runners.
And Forte so experienced, more touches than anybody else in the NFL the last 8 years. Now a 2nd down throw for Fitzpatrick. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. And that's caught by Smith. And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. So opening drive, 3rd down, they complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, and the ball should be there. And then they can do some work afterwards.
To throw, Fitzpatrick. And a little floater there is incomplete. He was looking for Devin Smith that time. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
On 2nd down, Fitzpatrick again. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Kimbrel Tompkins, the intended target. And it'll be 3rd and 10. This now play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick, and he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
On now is Nick Folk in the field goal unit for the Jets. And Folk's kick is good. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. So we played a quarter here in this inter-city rivalry. 3-0 is our score. Back to MetLife Stadium in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Folk out there now to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. First and 10. Here's Manning. Larry Donnell the target, and he's got it. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Here's the former 7th-round pick, Rashad Jennings. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, it wasn't much of a gain, but we're getting near the 2-minute warning, so maybe they just want to get to that point, regroup, and decide what they want to do the rest of the half.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have highlights and analysis of this first half. I'm guessing mostly defensive highlights that we will see.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool. No touchdown scored yet so far.
Yeah, none whatsoever. From the gun on third down, Manning, and that is incomplete. Larry Donnell, the one he was trying to get it to. And that's going to make it fourth down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Now here's Ross. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Jets take possession. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
And this is caught. First catch by Brandon Marshall. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. And there's a flag on the field.
Pass interference, defense.
So pass interference and partner with all the rule changes. It is hard to be a defender in the pass game.
Brandon, is tough in college. It's a lot harder in the NFL. You can't touch him after 5 yards downfield. You can't touch him while the ball's not in the air. You can't touch him at all until the ball is at the receiver's hands. Very difficult to be a defender in today's NFL. After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Here's Fitzpatrick. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it, but just not be able to stay in bounds there defensively.
Well, extremely, because, you know, the rap against us defenders is that we're frustrated offensive guys who can't catch. And he caught it. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds. It's that second part that finished off the play for him.
Get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. To the air again, Fitzpatrick. Dumps off to Powell. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
No gain, and it's second down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot. I think he might have been a little bit too focused on turning upfield. He didn't stay in bounds. He caught the ball, but he wanted to catch it and run, get that rack yardage so badly, he forgot to stay in bounds first.
And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And Folk's kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So that scores now in their first 2 possessions, but it's 6-0. Probably not the kind of scores they were hoping for.
No, not at all, but I think that they've shown that they can have some success against this defense. So they'll go back to the sideline knowing the points are going to be there for the taking.
After the made field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. Both teams have arguably played well enough to be leading at this point, but you see the score and realize this one may very well come down to the wire. All right, let's roll those highlights. Third down at the 36. The pass is completed into tight coverage, and that connection will lead to a gain of 29 yards. However, they only come away with a field goal on the drive. Third down from inside the 30. Powell is found on the quick pass, and he'll be tackled at the 11-yard line. However, they only come away with a field goal on the drive. So that'll do it from our EA Sports Studios. Let's get back up to New Jersey as we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. The return comes from Orleans Darkwa. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more.
And now the ball comes out. Manning lost it. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense.
Here we go.
Now Manning throwing on second down. Finding time. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's third down. Well, it was second long. Now the Jets are going to burn another timeout. And that's going to leave them with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And the Jets D, they call on a couple extra defensive backs on third. On third and long, it's Manning. A dump off to Vereen. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Brad Wing now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Ross on the return. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now.
And that's caught inside the 35. 30 yards on the pickup there. And that's good for a Jet first down.
All right, partner, that's it. That's a video game highlight catch right there. Acrobatic, one hand, come down with the football. Look, if you and I are playing Madden right now, I'm throwing down my control. I'm done. That's it. I can't do this anymore. Yet, we see it happen just about every week. All these guys need is a chance, and they're making those types of plays, even if we don't believe what we just saw.
Now a play fake here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Devon Kennard from that outside linebacker spot. He's able to get in there for a loss of 9. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out, you see, and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's Jet football as they've got the lead here, and we get set to begin quarter number 4. So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. On third down, Fitzpatrick. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. Back to the air on second down. It's Manning. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 15 yards through the air on a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Hitting Donnell here, the tight end right side. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it second down. The offense certainly looking to score some points, but they also need ball security here late as we get down to the final moments of this one. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And this one hauled in by Will Tye. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On first down, Manning. He's got time in the pocket, able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And his throw is incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Buster Screen. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And New York set to take the field. They have the lead. Still a one-possession game, but the defense got to stop. They've got the football now. Just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Here's Fitzpatrick. Now he'll let it go deep right side. He's got a man, complete. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Marshall, the lone receiver on the left side. Fitzpatrick here to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Now a run. This is Bilal Powell. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. To a knee goes Fitzpatrick, and that should just about do it. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. And they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13. This is the running back, Powell. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. Well, there were times where this felt more like a soccer match, just not a lot of offense. Really good defensive battle, though.
You kept wondering if one of the teams would break out today. Neither one of them really did. One got just enough points to win the game. Excellent defensive football.